Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel.
It's a goodie, everyone! So I finally got around to making my travel vlog. So this winter break, I went and took a road trip from
Texas
to Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. And let me tell you, this was one of the best road trips I've ever taken in my life. The scenery was awesome. You know, I had to stop in H-Town for some good ass food, so the food was great. So come along with me on this journey to Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. Also, we'll be giving y'all a detailed list of things that you need to remember before you cross the border, and I will be showing you a lot of halal food options in Houston, Texas. So before we get started,
please body slam that subscribe button.
So the journey begins, and let us get to it. So our first stop was in Baton Rouge, and let me tell you, this hotel that we stayed in, look how nice it looks from the outside. Looks nice, it looks pretty, it looks clean. Y'all keep this address in mind. This is the address. Keep this in mind because this is a place that you never, ever, 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 ever want to stay in. This place was dirty. Look how horrifying this hotel room was. They lied in the reviews. They said there was going to be free breakfast. No free breakfast. And look, mystery stains on the bed. Mystery stains on the curtain. Mystery stains on the floor. Some no fire alarm. This place, I'm telling you, was trash out of the fucking trash. Never stay here, y'all. Look at all these dirty ass stains on the mattress. That's what we had to sleep on. This was a cockroach motel. Not even cockroaches would have stayed here. Look at this. Mystery stain on the bed. I don't know if that's shit or I don't know if that's dookie, but it's something. It's something on the bed. And like while I was sleeping there, I was feeling mad itchy, y'all. Like I was like itch, 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 you know. I don't know if I was there sleeping with bed bugs and shit, but y'all, let me tell you, you're gonna be paying $100 to be sleeping in a cockroach, bed bug infested hotel full of ghosts and goblins and shit. Like y'all need to, no, don't stay here. I'm telling you from experience, the beds were nasty. When I say nasty, I mean nasty. Like they were so disgusting. Thank God my mom had packed bed sheets. Otherwise, I would have not stayed. I would have just stayed up the whole night. That place was dirty as hell. Like, I'm talking about dirty, dirty, dirty. So you're going to be paying so much money. And not only that, they lied. They said that there was going to be breakfast. There was no breakfast. So whoever owns this hotel, I just want to say, you're cheap as hell. The hotel looks beautiful from the outside, but from the inside, it's ugly as hell. Because how are you going to put on the website that there's free breakfast, that it's clean? A lie. It's a 4.9 star. A fucking lie. Like, that place was so dirty. And shout out, I just want a big shout out to McDonald's for coming through with the breakfast, because McDonald's breakfast be bussin'. I don't care what anybody says about McDonald's. McDonald's has one of the best breakfasts compared to all these fast food restaurants and these chains and these continental breakfasts at hotel. Nothing can beat McDonald's. Like, I have been eating McDonald's breakfast since I was like 5 years old. It never fails to satisfy the needs, yo. So shout out to McDonald's. But other than that, this place was just so disgusting, so dirty. Don't stay here. Don't waste your money. Go across the street to the Hilton. Maybe you'll find something cleaner. But don't be fooled by the reviews and don't be fooled by how it looks on the outside. Alright, so now we just continue our trip to Texas. Alright, so we finally made it to Texas. Shout out to H-Town. I always love being in H-Town. So this is where we stayed in Texas. We stayed in Channelview, Houston, and we stayed at this La Quinta. And I gotta say, this La Quinta was pretty up there. The first time that we stayed, because we stayed here twice, the first time that we stayed, this hotel was so clean, so nice. But then the second time when we stayed, it was not all that. But this room that you see right now is like very clean. So I was like pretty satisfied with this room. It was a nice area too. It was very calm, not too much traffic. So highly suggest you guys staying here if you want to stay someplace in Houston, but like a little outside of Houston, so that way you don't have to deal with all that much traffic. And as you can see here, this hotel has a little gazebo area with a grill and stuff like that. So I did see people using this. It was kind of a nice area if you have a big family and you want to eat with your whole family. Overall, I would rate this hotel a 7 out of 10, and I would most likely stay here again. Alright, so now we are off to get some food. The first restaurant that I wanted to go to was by Jean, this Persian grill, but unfortunately it closed early because it was Christmas Eve, so the place was closed, so we had to scrap that idea, but it's in this plaza right here. So we ended up eating at the Afghan Village restaurant. This was on Hillcroft, so I have the exact address here. So a lot of the halal places are on Hillcroft Avenue, so when you do go to Texas, make sure you do go to Hillcroft, because that's where you'll find all the halal and Muslim food and other spaces there. So this is what I ate at the Afghan Village restaurant. It was pretty decent. I would rate this place an 8 out of 10. The food was pretty good and it was a pretty clean place. The service was a little weird, but I mean, they weren't mean or anything, but they just never came around our table. But would I go to eat again? Most definitely. The food was pretty tasty. So then after dinner, we ended up going to the Hillcroft Shopping Center, and this is where you could find all your Indian outfits, Indian jewelry, gold. You could find restaurants, a Chai restaurant, a Bengali restaurant. There's, well, as you could see here, an Indo-Pakistani tempura restaurant. It's all kinds of random things in this plaza. This is basically a Desi plaza, and this is where I almost got scammed around, y'all.
Bruh.
This is where this lady tried to scam my mama. So here's the tea. This is what happened. So we go into this store and my mom's looking up at scarves and stuff like that. If you live in Hillcroft, you know this store. It's the name of an animal. Let's just say I blocked it out because I kind of feel a little bad if this is not her store and this is somebody else's store and she just works there. The tea. This is what happened. So we went into this store and my mom wanted to buy like some gifts and stuff like that for my aunt and whatever, whatnot. So we go in there. My mom gets like these 2 scarves and the lady's telling her,
oh, they're $25 each.
we're like, why the hell are scarves, like regular scarves, $25 each? And then she's like,
I'll give it to you for $20, but $20 is like too much of a discount.
so my mom's like, okay, you know what, whatever, supporting small businesses, because she seemed like she ain't had no business. So then when my mom gets in the car and she's looking at the tags on the scarves, and the tags on the scarves say $10. So are you fucking kidding me? Like, how the fuck are you gonna up the price from the tags from $10 to $25?
That shit is so disrespectful. So disrespectful. That shit got me so hot.
This is a whole scammer. Okay, so that happened. We got out the car. We went back in the store. And me, my sister, and my mom confronted her. And we're like, the tag on this scarf says $10. You just tried to charge us $25 for these scarves that cost $10. Then she tried to lie. And she was like,
Oh no, that's the wholesale price. This, that, and the third.
if that's a wholesale price for a scarf, then you really suck at doing business, because there's no way in hell that you're buying clothing such as a scarf and you're getting it at a wholesale price for $10 unless it's cashmere. And this shit was not cashmere, it was cotton, and it was some shit that you could probably find at Ross for like $10.99, $5.99, you know. But yeah, there's no way in hell that she got that at a wholesale price of $10. Like, what made no sense was that this was literally the barcode price of the item. So it's not like it said $25 on the thing. If it said $25 on the thing, I wouldn't be complaining. But this was the price that she put on the item. It literally said $10. Like, that was literally the barcode price of the item. And not only that, but she said cash only.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So that's a little suspicious too. And then, yeah, so I think what she was trying to do was trying to pickpocket that money at the end of the day, if she was just a worker, or she was just trying to scam people, plain and simple. But honestly, avoid that place at all costs. Go to the other stores. The other stores we went to, they were really sweet, really nice, and they don't be doing that shit. And also, she didn't give a receipt. So that's also questionable too. So yeah, don't go there. Go to the other places. The other places give you a receipt, and they're way better. Okay, we got the money back. Yeah, she tried to scam my mom at that place. My mama does not play. We got the money back. So after we got our money back, we went and got ice cream at the West Croft Center. So we went to this place called Quality Ice Cream. When I say y'all need to run to this place, y'all need to run there, because they have some of the best ice cream ever. They have like really nice faludas, really nice ice cream drinks and stuff like that, milkshakes and whatever, whatnot. So y'all, 10 out of 10, I recommend this place. Every time I'm in Texas, I come here. They have so many options, and here's the address. They even have a lot of different ice cream flavors that you could take home as well, or take to your hotel or whatever. But look how many different flavors they have. They have so many different flavors. They have pistachio, they have malai, they have even dairy-free options, which I thought were pretty cool, and sugar-free options. So yeah, so check this place out, Quality Sweets. It's in the West Croft Center. Also, I did take a video of the menu, so here are some of the options that you do have at Quality Ice Cream. So this is some of the things that we got. My sister and my dad, they got this one. I believe this is malai flavor. It's really nice. And then I got the faluda. Of course, I love me some faluda, and it was pink and beautiful and delicious. And they like put the right amount of everything in here. Honestly, 10 out of 10. I always think about this place every time I leave Texas. Alright, so now it's Christmas Day, and this is me on Christmas Day with my cute little Christmas mask. And we didn't know where to go, so we decided to go to H Mart. In my opinion, I like Lottie Mart better than H Mart. I am sorry to say, but H Mart is so expensive.
Bruh.
So we found this H Mart right here. Here's the address. And here's what H Mart looked on the inside. It's very, very clean and very nice. And they have like small restaurant options and bakeries and stuff like that inside. After that, we went to the Hong Kong market. This was a huge market. It was in Bel Air, Texas. Here's the address for that. This market was so busy and so packed, even on Christmas Day. And they had actually way better prices than H Mart. Their prices were much cheaper. So if you want to go to an Asian grocery store and get some Asian groceries, you could get it from here way cheaper. They had a lot of things, as you'll see in the video. They had like so many things. And I regret not recording the fish market area or like the fish cutting area because they had so many fish options it wasn't even funny. This is duck right here. So after we got out of that little shopping market, we went into the actual mall, and this mall had a lot of things, but it had like a lot of vacant spots as well. But there was like still a good amount of stores there. Like as you can see, there's a CD store, there's a beauty salon. So this whole place was really nice. And look at the toilet. Somebody threw a trash can in the toilet. Bruh. So after that, we went to this place called Al Medina. So I don't know if you guys recall, but in the beginning of this video, I showed kind of like this Walgreens looking building. And I was kind of like, why the hell is there a Walgreens? Arab Walgreens, but it ended up being an awesome grocery store. So these are some of the things that we found in that grocery store. And y'all, they have halal rotisserie chicken there. So y'all need to go check it out. I actually did try it and it was delicious. So check out Al Medina. And here is the address to Al Medina. So here you are. After that, I was hungry. It was Christmas Day, and the best part of Muslim places and Asian places is that they're always going to be open. So Baijian was finally open, and I finally got my Baijian. And every time I go to Texas, I always have to get Baijian because this place was so yummy and delicious. Here is the address for Baijian, and I rate this place a 10 out of 10. Every time we go here, we get the family platter, and this is what it all comes with. And y'all, when I show you this platter of meat, this thing is as juicy as it looks. It looks juicy as hell. It tastes even better. So y'all need to go to Houston and get you some Baijian and see what I'm talking about. So after that, I ate way too much and I was like, you know what? I need to digest. So I was like, let me go digest. Let me go for a walk and let me digest this food at the Hillcroft Shopping Center, in which I went to Roopsari Palace. This place had nice clothing for men and women and had jewelry and had everything in between. So y'all go check this place out. As for the pricing, I did find this place a little bit too pricey. I mean, it wasn't too pricey to where you're like, oh my god, but it was like kind of in the middle, you know? But yeah, it wasn't too bad to a point where it wasn't affordable. But as you can see here, they have so many options for men and women. And this is like the first time I walked into a Desi store and found a lot of men options. So this is a nice place. And look how beautiful the jewelry is here. The jewelry was a bit expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Also, I forgot to mention this place did have a lot of sales. So then after I digested my food or whatever, I was like, let me get some dessert. So I went and I got some dessert from Al Medina. Shout out to Al Medina. But the baklava was like a 7 out of 10 and the nougat was a little hard. So yeah, that was like about a 6 out of 10. But I mean, I still ate it. It was still good. So the next day we went to Mi Tienda, and let me tell you, Mi Tienda was awesome. I love Mi Tienda. It was such a great place to be. It was so big and there was so many things in Mi Tienda. And here is the address for Mi Tienda. So for those of you who don't know Spanish, Mi Tienda means my shop. So at Mi Tienda, you could find literally everything. This was a giant Mexican superstore, I guess, where it was like a place where you could get bread, cake, you could get meat, cheese. There's so many things. Horchata. Bro, the horchata at mi tienda was bussin'. When I say bussin', it was so good. I wish I went back again. But look how beautiful the cakes are. Look how beautiful this whole store is. The whole setup of the store was so beautiful. And they had fresh tortillas. They had sushi, bro. They even had sushi at mi tienda. What? As for pricing of the groceries and stuff like that, I would say they had fairly reasonable prices. This was way cheaper than H Mart, let's just say that, but it was fairly reasonable. They had fairly reasonable prices for the stuff they had, and a lot of the stuff was fresh. Like, look at this tortilla, they freshly made the tortillas. So if you are trying to look for a Mexican store that has literally everything that you need, I would come here. Highly suggest it, 10 out of 10. Very clean, very big, very nice. So one thing about me, if it looks good and it's halal, I'ma eat it or drink it. So this trip was mainly just me eating and drinking, but let me tell you, I'm an eater, all right? I like food. Y'all already know I had to make yet another trip back to El Medina. So I went back and I got my rotisserie chicken. Hell yeah. And look how many options they had. They had kibbeh, they had rotisserie chicken, they had potatoes, they had what else? They had beef pies and cheese pies. Those beef pies and cheese pies were so good. Y'all need to go to this store, okay? Look at this. Look at this basket full of yummies. Yummy, yummy, yummy. After Al Medina, I went to this place called Bismillah Cafe. I would say this was decent. This was like one of those places that you eat because there's no other options. Like, I have to say this was probably like a 6 out of 10. Like the burger, I got the Nashville burger. My sister got some coleslaw burger, and it just wasn't hitting like how it was supposed to hit. And my mom got the chinabatura. The chinabatura was good, I guess, but it just wasn't hitting. Honestly, I saw a lot of videos on this on TikTok, and I think it was overhyped. Would I go back? Probably. I would give it a second chance. But if it doesn't work after the second chance, then hell no. But I feel like the next time I would go back, I would only go back to eat the Pakistani food. And I have to say the service was actually pretty good. It was pretty organized. And y'all, keep in mind this Bismillah Cafe is in the same plaza as Quality Sweets, and they have a whole bunch of food places in the same plaza as a Quality Sweets place. So after that, we went to this place called Nablus Sweets. Let me tell y'all, of course, you hear the name Nablus. This is a Palestinian sweet place. Bro, this place was awesome. Shout out to all the Palestinians out there. I fucking love Palestine. I fucking love y'all. So yeah, this place was delicious. The guy who owned the place was very nice, and I really wish I got a video of inside the place. It was so clean. The desserts were delicious. So 10 out of 10, I would recommend Nablus Sweets. Go check him out. He is in the same plaza as Bismillah Cafe and Quality Ice Cream. Alright, so after all that, we were off to San Antonio,
Texas.
And let me tell y'all, we thought the GPS had taken us the wrong way. We were driving for miles and miles and miles, and it looked literally like this. It was nothing but grass and cows and maybe a house. It looked straight out of Courage the Cowardly Dog. So y'all can't tell me that Muriel and Eustace wouldn't live in a place like this. Like, it literally looked straight out of that show. Alright, so after driving about 3 hours, we finally make it to San Antonio, and we get to our hotel, and y'all, let me tell y'all, this hotel was bougie out of the most bougiest that I picked. Oh my god, I literally outdid myself with this one. This hotel was Home by Hilton in the Rim. So if y'all want to stay in San Antonio, Texas, y'all need to stay at the Rim. It is basically like a, I don't know, it's like a bougie area, but the hotel was
Nice.
and this was the ones with the kitchen, the sink, the stove, and they had also like a place where you could do your office stuff and stuff like that. It was so roomy in here. They had also a nice TV that had YouTube, Netflix, everything in between, and they had a huge closet space, a seating area here that turns into a bed as well. This table pulls out.
Unlike your man.
So they had a lot of stuff. It was very clean, very nice. So highly suggest staying here. So this was the view outside of our window.
I like the view.
You're my best view.
Meh.
How pretty. Also, I want to mention that this hotel was really convenient because of the fact that Target was right next door. And they had like a little plaza that had like Ross, TJ Maxx, Target, Ulta, Sephora, etc., etc. And now we are off to Mexico for a day trip. So please keep in mind that it is a 2-hour and 30-minute drive from San Antonio to Laredo, Texas. So it is going to take a little bit to get there. So bring snacks and stuff like that along the way. And we did stop at this rest stop because there's barely any rest stops on the way. So you kind of want to go to the nearest one that's nearest to you. I mean, there is gas stations and stuff like that, but you know, a rest stop is way better because it's like a quick go-to. So we stopped at this one at La Salle County or La Salle County. This one was like literally one of the cleanest rest stops ever, so highly suggest stopping here. Very clean. They have even like a little park area for kids, so if you do have kids and you want them to like run around for a little bit, I highly suggest stopping here. After a little tinkle break, it is time to hit the road and it's time to get back on track to our final destination, Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. So I wanted to show you all this beautiful palace. This is literally what you'll see as soon as you enter Laredo, Texas. This is a information stop slash rest stop. Please stop here. They have so many awesome things, so many pretty architectures and stuff like that. So just stop there. But this is when you start to feel the heat, is when you hit Laredo, Texas. It gets hotter and hotter and hotter. So please dress accordingly. So as you could see, we are getting closer to Mexico. So line 1 is the line for people who want to walk to Mexico, and line 2 is the line for people who want to drive. So if you are walking, take line 1, because that's what we did. Because the lady at the rest stop told us that the line 1 was faster, and it was literally so fast compared to the driving line. So this is us kind of driving through Laredo, Texas. So once you get to Laredo, Texas, what you want to do is you want to type in the outlets in your GPS because that's where you will be parking. So if you are going to go to Mexico for the day, you want to park at this outlet right here, and I will drop the location. So remember, park at this outlet right here and line 1. So you want to go to line 1 in order for you to get to this outlets. So look, this is me literally pointing at Mexico. That's Mexico right there, right across the street from the outlets. And then as you could see here, this is the way that you could just walk from the parking lot and go to Mexico. And also there is a restroom here in the outlet, so if you have to use the restroom, I suggest going to the restroom and going to the food court before you hit Mexico. Now, if you like to complicate your life, like me and my family, you know, forget your lunch and forget to exchange money and then run around like a chicken with your head cut off And now you're trying to find a place to exchange your money, and you're sweating like a sinner in church because it's hot as shit outside, and you decided to wear a sweater because it was a little chilly in San Antonio. And then the place that you needed to exchange your money was on the other side of this train, and the train literally took an hour to move. So then you ended up going back, and you finally find a place to exchange your money, and that's how you get started on your trip to Mexico. So after that whole ordeal, I created a whole list of things you need to remember before crossing the border, because that shit was so stressful and I don't want y'all to go through what I went through. So this is me having y'all's back. Things to remember before crossing into Mexico. Number 1, exchange your money a day in advance. Self-explanatory. Or exchange your money a few days in advance. And here are some places in Laredo, Texas where you can exchange your money and not be like me and my family and run around like a chicken with your damn head cut off trying to find a place to exchange your money. So after you get your money, step number 2 is to plan. Honestly, I feel like the biggest mistake and the biggest flaw we didn't do was plan our trip and plan where we wanted to go. That was like the biggest thing that kind of like threw us off a lot. So plan where you want to go the second you enter Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. Plan what you want to do. Get an Uber if you need an Uber, or get a taxi if you need a taxi. But make sure you are planning where exactly you want to go. Tip number 3, you need $1 to enter Mexico and 25 cents to leave Mexico. So you need $1 in bill form to enter Mexico. So you're gonna slip it through this little pay thing, and they're gonna give you 4 quarters that you're gonna stick through a machine, and that's how you will get to Mexico. And then you need 25 cents to leave Mexico. So make sure you have a quarter on hand. 4th most important tip, this is so important, have your passports on hand. Always carry your passports. Honestly, if you want to come home, you need your passport. So make sure you have your passport on hand. You don't really need your passport to go in, but you do for sure need it when you come back home. Tip number 5, eat before you go. So this would have been so helpful if me and my family did this. It would have been so helpful. So eat before you go, especially if you are vegan, vegetarian, or you only eat halal. The choices are very limited for those options. I mean, they are there, but they're not going to be right in the city the second you enter. You might have to go a little outside. So make sure you do eat before you go. Honestly, eating before you go, especially if you have a long drive like we did from San Antonio to Nuevo Laredo, it will help you so much. You'll think better. You'll be able to have more energy to do things. So honestly, eat before you go. Tip number 6. Park at the outlets. So I kind of went into detail about this earlier a little bit, that where the outlets were, where to park and stuff like that. And yes, you do have to pay to park at the outlets. The first 2 hours is free, and then anything after that, it is $2 per hour, which is pretty cheap. And your parking is only until about 8 p.m. You would have to check the times. I believe Saturday and Sunday it might be till 9. But park at the outlets if you plan on walking to Mexico, because it is so close by to the border. It's not even funny how close it is. It literally takes 5 minutes to enter the border. And then coming back home, it might take a little bit longer. It's probably going to take you about an hour or 2. So yeah, just park as close as you can, so that way you could just hop in your car and go. Tip number 7, things to pack. Water, sunscreen, snacks, phone charger, download Uber, quarters, and a hat. These are some things that you could pack. Like I said, these are all optional, but I feel like water is the most important thing that you should pack, especially on a trip like this, because it is going to be hot. So pack water, and I say sunscreen because it's going to be hot and you don't want to get them wrinkles. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get them wrinkles. So you need to pack some sunscreen, put that shit on your face, and you're good for the day. And then snacks, because you're going to be waiting in line a lot. So you want to pack some snacks. And quarters, self-explanatory, because that's how you get through to the border, is you need 5 quarters. So I would bring 6 just in case. And then a phone charger, just in case your phone dies, self-explanatory. And a hat, because it's going to be hot, of course. And then download Uber. I say download Uber just in case you want to take an Uber anywhere or a taxi anywhere. I mean, they have taxis everywhere. But if you want to take an Uber, you could take an Uber. You do have that option. So, you know, download Uber just in case. Tip number 8, is to wear comfy clothing and running shoes. So I say this because you're going to be walking around a lot. So wear comfy clothing and wear running shoes. Tip number 9, get there early. So this is kind of self-explanatory. Just get there early so that way you have the whole day to do whatever you need to do. And let's say you forgot something, you'll have time to pick it up and then just go about your day. So yeah, get there early. Don't do anything last minute. And finally, relax, breathe, and enjoy your time in Mexico. Honestly, crossing the border is easier than crossing to Canada. Like, if we're being 100, crossing to Mexico is so much easier than crossing to Canada. And honestly, Mexico is such a beautiful place, and the people are so beautiful there. So just enjoy your time, have fun, and like I said, get there early so that way you have the whole day to do things. And if you want to go to another city, you'll be able to go to another city. I know Monterrey, Mexico is about 3 hours away from the border. So if you got there, let's say at 6 o'clock, you would still have time to go to Monterrey and be there for a couple hours and then come back home. So plan accordingly, have fun, and enjoy your time. Honestly, you'll have so much fun in Mexico. The food is great, the atmosphere is great. It's just an awesome time being in Mexico. So now these next videos are going to be me showing you how to actually go from the outlet parking lot to the border and how to cross into Mexico. It's such an easy process. Like I said, all the steps that I showed before, just follow those steps. You'll get an easy peasy lemon squeezy, and the journey to Mexico begins. Walking to Mexico! We made it! In Mexico! So these are some of the scenes that you will most definitely see the second you walk into Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. You're also going to see a parking lot, which I'm going to show right here. You could park your car here if you wanted to. They have a whole bunch of parking though, and a whole bunch of places to drive. But if you're not familiar with driving in Mexico, I would not suggest driving because they do drive a little rough there. If you're like from New York or like Morocco or Pakistan or something, you drive there, yeah, most definitely you could drive in Mexico. But if you're like from a place like where there's no traffic, nah, don't be driving out here. Get a taxi or get a Uber and let them drive for you. You're going to be holding up traffic, you're going to be stressed, you're going to get honked off the road. People have places to be, they have work, they have school, etc., etc. So yeah, so just take a Uber, take a taxi, or just walk. It's easier that way. Also, y'all, I did see a lot of Chinese places in Mexico. Like, there was Chinese food, there was Chinese stores, Chinese dollar stores and stuff like that. So I was so tempted to try the Chinese food, but I didn't get a chance to. But I'm sure it's good because I know for a fact that they say like the Puerto Rican version of Chinese food is good, so I could only imagine how the Mexican version of Chinese food would taste. As for souvenir places, I thought they would have more souvenir places, but there weren't as many in this area as I thought there was going to be. As y'all could see in this video, I look like a burnt chicken nugget. I was redder than a motherfucking tomato, y'all. I was cooking. So you know what I did? I had to stop by the paleta place, and let me tell you, there was a cute ass little papi there selling the little paletas, so y'all know how to get one, and I had to eat it, and it was really good. And I completely forgot that I was lactose intolerant, but I did eat it and I didn't get the shits. So 10 out of 10, would recommend. I'm not sure where it was, but it was across the street from this place. Then after that, we just chilled here, like right beside the paleta place. We just chilled for a second. We ate our little paleta. I saw a little doggy. And then, you know, we had to get some elote. But y'all, tell me how my dad got me this dry-ass elote. He didn't put no crema, no mayonesa, nunca. Like, he put nothing. So I was over here eating this dry-ass elote. You know, them shits was, like, hard as hell. Like, I was so sad. Because he thought I was gonna, like, shit my pants or something in Mexico. Because, you know, I'm lactose intolerant or whatever. Bruh. Okay, so after that happened, I saw Church's Chicken. I was so shocked to see Church's Chicken. Because I'm like, that's so random. You know, I hardly even see Church's Chicken in the States. Normally I see a KFC or something. But yeah, so I saw Church's Chicken. And then after a couple hours of being in Mexico, it was time to go home. So these were some of the things that we saw. I took some videos of the pharmacy. I wish I took more, but these are some of the things that you'll see along the way, on the way home. So the getting into Mexico takes 5 minutes, but the going back home takes about an hour or two. So depending on the time that you go back home, it's probably going to take longer or shorter. So I would highly suggest you using the bathroom before you go. So like I said earlier, you have to put a 25 cents in to exit, and then here's the bathroom. It is right here. And these bathrooms are fairly clean, but I would suggest bringing your own soap because the soap didn't have any soap in it. And now it is time to wait in that long ass line. So this is why I suggest bringing a snack, something to do, a charger, etc., etc. So once you hit this point, you're about like maybe 20 minutes away from entering and exiting. So it was a really simple process getting out, and this is what you'll see the second you get out of the customs and immigrations. They basically ask you the same questions: what did you bring, what did you do, etc., etc. And then you pretty much exit with everybody else and you just go about your way. So for us, it was just going back to the outlet and picking up our car and then going home. So yeah, my little day trip in Mexico was awesome, and I did bring back a little cowgirl hat. So I did buy a little hat. It was awesome. And at this point, I am so exhausted. I'm just ready to go to bed. Also, I want to mention that before you leave back to San Antonio like we did, you're going to have to go through another customs, I guess, but all they do is ask you for your ID and then you're pretty much good to go. All right, so after a good shower and a good night's rest, the next day we ended up going to the San Antonio market, I believe it's called, before we headed back to Houston. And this is the location of the historic market square. So this was where we went and we parked on top. So as you could see, this is what you see from the parking lot. And I would suggest parking on top because it's just easier to maneuver around and stuff like that. They do have wheelchair access as well. I believe they do have an elevator. So yeah, it's easy to park on top. So this is what it kind of looks like inside some of the places. I just felt like this was so underwhelming. Like they didn't really have what I was looking for. I don't know. I felt like everything was just kind of a repeat. So once you walk into like the market square place, literally everybody has the same 5-10 items. Like it's all the same price and it's all the same items, and it's kind of like I wanted to see something different. I don't know. I just felt like it was just really underwhelming. So after we did the whole like marketplace thing and you know whatever and whatnot, it was for sure time to go back to Houston. So this is us just driving back to Houston. After about a 2-hour drive back to Houston, we stopped at this mall, and this mall was in Cathy, Texas, and it had Miss A in there. And if y'all don't know what Miss A is basically like a dollar store full of like beauty goodies. Let me tell you, this place is like the #1 place. Maybe it is very similar to the Japanese Daiso. I wouldn't put it at the level of the Japanese Daiso, but it is very similar. It's probably in 2nd or 3rd place compared to Daiso. But they do have a lot of stuff. They have beauty supplies, they have hair stuff, they have nail stuff, they have New Year's stuff, they have scrunchies, they have towels, travel stuff, like everything you name it for the price of $1 or $2. Like, everything here is pretty much so cheap and so affordable. And they do have like a lot of good makeup too. I know the online site of Miss A, they have like a lot more things, but look, they have makeup brushes and everything. Like, honestly, if you're ever in Texas, they have so many of these Miss A stores. Just go and check it out. Alright, so this is the saddest part of the vlog. Last day in Houston, man. Last day in Houston. So, it's always sad to have to go back home, you know, after an awesome vacation.
But you know what they say, like all good things, it must come to an end.
We spent our last day eating at Aga's restaurant. Well, let me tell y'all, don't judge a book by its cover. I know this place might look a little whack looking from the outside. It just looks like one of those places where you might find a Save-A-Lot in a shady looking dollar store, but look at the inside. Y'all, this was some fine dining. When I tell y'all this was some fine dining, I felt so bougie walking in here. I was so shook. I was like, what? And this is the location of the place, and they do cater. Yummy. And the place looks as good as the food does. The food was so good. I rate this place a 9.99. I give it a point off because the fucking naan was $3.99, bitch. Like, what the f? And mind you, it was $3.99 just for one naan. That's wild, bro. $3.99 for one naan. Y'all got me so up, but y'all lucky the food is so yummy and delicious. Mashallah, the food was so good. This is a place that I highly, highly recommend. Clean, the service was great, and the food was amazing. And look at the $3.99 naan, yo. But look how it was so good, mashallah. Like 10 out of 10. Honestly, 10 out of 10. And look, we devoured that shit. Like, there was nothing on our plates. That's how you know the food was good. Because, look, we ate everything. Every single thing. We didn't even leave an onion. And I ate so much, I even got a little bit of buttered chicken on my mask. So that's how you know it was good, when you get buttered chicken on your mask. And then after we went and got some fresh pond, which is right outside the store. You know, brown people things. So, yeah, this was 100% halal party hall, banquet hall, and some pond to end our day. After many, and I mean
Many
delicious meals, many trips to Buc-ee's, and awesome adventures, it was officially time to go
home.
I don't wanna go home. So yeah, it was time to go home, which is the saddest part of vacation, is just to go back to your normal life and do all the normal things that you were doing a week before you left to vacation. So yeah, this is pretty much us just getting back on the road and driving and driving and driving and driving. And we literally drove throughout the whole night. Man, I was driving. I was so tired. My neck, my back, everything was hurting. Everything was hurting. Alrighty, y'all, so this is pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for tagging along on my journey to Nuevo Laredo, Mexico. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will try to answer to the best of my ability. Like I said, we went on a road trip, so please feel free to ask if you have any questions. Also, please check out my other travel vlogs. I have one on Japan and one on Korea, so please go and check them out. They're pretty lit as well. But you guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.
Bam.